So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 4 A MA Manieres. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another comparison video for you between two pairs of Nike Air Jordan 4 A MA Manieres. Fake ones on my left here and the retail ones on my right. It's just a comparison to help you if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. So we'll get straight into the comparison. First difference I'm going to point out is on the A MA Maniere cover that goes over the top of the shoebox. And if you take a closer look at the A MA Maniere text on top, you can see just how scuffed the fake one is. Both of these arrived pretty much the exact same day, and if you take a look at the retail one, you can see it's got scratches on it, but in terms of the actual white text, there's no real marks or anything on it. But in terms of the fake one, you can see that the marks are on the white text is very clear to see, and almost as if the white text would wear off with time, whereas the retail one just has scratches, but the text itself, it looks to be underneath the plastic, whereas on the fake one, the white text is just overlaying the plastic on top. So this is the first difference to point out if you're looking at a retail and fake. But we'll take off the cover and take a closer look at the actual box itself. So we'll take off the retail one first, then we'll take off the fake one. So once again, there's a big difference between the two boxes, and I'll show you in the close-up. So if you look at the box lid itself, you can see the actual color of the box is very different. I know you can see markings on top of the box, and the fake one is very damaged and like kind of worn out compared to the retail one. But if you look at the actual color of the box itself, the fake one is a much browner box compared to the retail one, which kind of matches the shoe color, which I'll show you on the inside. But you can see the color difference is very different from retail to fake. In terms of box sizing, I would say the retail box is slightly bigger. These are the same size, both are UK 9, and the box sizes is slightly different, with the retail one being bigger than the fake one. With this sizing difference, if you look at the Jordan logo and the flight text on top, they're slightly misaligned comparing retail to fake. But just take a closer look at this if you are trying to compare the boxes from retail to fake, because we're now going to take a look at the labels. So spinning the box around and taking a closer look at the labels, you can see that the font text size is different between the two. If you look at where it says Air Jordan 4 Retro SP, you can see this is much larger on the fake box compared to the retail one. And also if you look at the sizing where it says US 10, UK 9, you can see that this is misplaced on the fake one, with the text being much larger than it is on the retail one. So there are differences to note if you are taking a closer look at the labels and the actual boxes themselves. But is there any differences in the shoes? Well, we'll open them up and find out. So we'll open up the fake one first. So they've actually wrapped the paper around the shoe. They don't normally do this, so you can see the shoes are covered. And if we take a look at the retail one, you can see the paper is covering the shoe once again. But let's take a closer look at the inside of the box lid. So a difference to note in terms of the box lid is on the outer edge on the inside here. You can see there's a white line going around the outer edge of the retail box, whereas on the fake one, there is not. So it's a minor difference, but it is noticeable when holding up the two box lids side by side. Now we'll take a look at the paper on the inside of the box, because the shoe paper is different once again. If I show you in the close-up, you can see that the retail one is very different to the fake one, with the A MA Maniere text logo on the top being smaller and being a lot more of them on the retail paper compared to the fake one, where this text is much larger. And in terms of lamination of the paper, it's very different from retail to fake. And I would say the retail one is slightly more see-through than the fake one. But this is just paper at the end of the day, so we'll open them up and look at the shoes themselves. So open them up. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 4 A MA Manieres. Can you tell any difference between these two? So the first difference I'm going to point out is the actual quality of the material on the toe box itself. So if I give you a close-up of this, what's quite annoying is the retail one is already creased, and I've never worn these before. But if you take a look at the close-up, you can see the retail one has a slight creasing to it, and also the overall kind of like nubuck material is very different from retail to fake. I would say it's much more leathery on the fake one compared to the retail one, and the quality of it just does not feel the same at all, with the retail one being a really soft nubuck kind of leather compared to the fake one, which is just almost like a shiny feel, plasticky feel leather to it. It just doesn't have the same quality as it does on the retail one, and the retail one, the quality is very good. Spinning the shoe around the back, taking a look at the Nike Air logo on the heel, you can see that the Air text at the bottom is positioned slightly differently. So from the close-up, you can see that on the retail one, the Air is placed really low down. It touches the nubuck leather going around the heel, whereas on the fake one you can see it's positioned much higher and there is more of a plastic cover at the bottom part of the heel. Taking a look at the front again, and just above the toe box area there's a rubberized cage. Looking closely at this, you can see more of this is exposed on the fake one compared to the retail one. You can see on the retail one the laces go much lower down, exposing less of this rubberized cage-like material compared to the fake one where you can see them placed higher up, so more of that cage-like material is exposed and it's just more visible. So on the outer side there once again is that rubberized cage material here, and if I give you a close-up of the material just beneath that, it's very clear to see a difference between the retail and fake. So if you look at that material underneath that rubberized cage, you can see how texturized it is on the retail pair compared to the fake one, where it doesn't have the same look or feel if you could actually get your fingers through the cage to feel it, but it's very different the material used from retail to fake. So on the outer side of this shoe, it does have this kind of silver pin with the A MA MANIERE logo on the side. If you compare this side by side, hopefully this will show up on the camera, but the A MA MANIERE symbol is smaller on the retail one compared to the fake, so it's just a mistake made from the fakes. They've made this text slightly larger. Taking a look at the inside of the shoe, and if we look at that nubuck material once again, it's very clear to see the quality difference between the two. So if you look underneath this rubberized triangle towards the heel at the nubuck here, you can see how different the material is in quality wise, which actually gives off a different appearance in color in certain lightings, with it just being a slightly darker shade on the retail one compared to the fake one, which is a slightly lighter color. Spinning this shoe around to the side, taking a look at this creamy yellow sole on the outer side, they are quite close, however there is a difference in color. If I show you side by side, you can see that the fake one is a slightly darker yellow compared to the retail one. The retail one has a more creamy vibe to it, which actually matches this kind of maroon color on top really nicely, and I really do like the colors that they've used. But because the fake one's got the nubuck color wrong on the top and the sole wrong, it just kind of doesn't match just as nicely. So it's slightly too dark of a yellow and then slightly too light of a kind of maroon color, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't look as nice as the actual retail pair does. So now, the more and more I look at this retail pair, I believe it's been worn. This is meant to be dead stock and it's very badly creased, and I think somebody's tried this on, which is slightly annoying, but can't really do anything. It's probably a Nike employee. So on the inside of the shoe, the sock liner is this kind of quilted material, and if I show you this side by side with a fake, there's a clear difference between the two pairs. So if I bend the tongue backwards, you can see on the inside that the stitching is much lighter on the fake one compared to the retail one. Feel of the quilted material is much softer on the retail one compared to the fake one. Once again, the fake one gives off a very plasticky feel, whereas the retail one, it feels very luxurious and soft, and I can imagine these will be incredibly comfy on feet, even for a Jordan 4. Looking directly from above at the laces themselves, although they seem laced exactly the same, what I would say is the color difference of the laces is very clear to see. And once again, the fake one has gone for a darker lace, which is actually a matching maroon to the upper, compared to the retail one, which is a slightly more brown look to it in certain lightings, but there is a difference in color between the two laces from retail to fake. So I said earlier that this pair is likely to have been worn. It does even come with a hang tag, but it came in a plastic bag and no attachment to the shoe. So someone's definitely broken this off, and that's just annoyed me. The fake one comes with this kind of like plasticky gold clip, which has it attached to it, and the retail one just came detached, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to be attached, but that's a little bit annoying. Then taking a look inside the shoe, the fake one comes with a cardboard shoe tree on the inside, whereas the retail one comes with shoe paper on the inside. So there is a difference between the two. But do you really care? Because you're not really going to see this ever. Taking out the insole from both pairs, this is the retail one, and then we'll take out the fake one. I can. So I would actually say the fake one's done a pretty good job at replicating the insole. What I would say is the fake one's maybe slightly thicker than it is on the retail one, but in terms of details like the patches on the back of the heel, these are practically the same, so they've done a very good job of this. On the underside, however, there is a difference. I would say it's slightly more shiny on the retail one compared to the fake. And if you look at the patch side at the back here, you can see the stitching is much more indented on the retail one compared to the fake one. But I am actually quite impressed with how they've done the label on the top. It actually looks very similar from retail to fake. The final difference I'm going to point out is actual positioning of this inner cage-like material here. If you look at this triangle made of rubberized material, you can see that more of the cage is visible on the fake one compared to the retail one, which just means that the shape of the side of the shoe is slightly misaligned and it just doesn't match up correctly compared to the retail one, where you can see only a little bit of this cage-like material is shown. And this is a size UK 9, so just take that into consideration when you're looking at your size, but this is a size UK 9, so it's just something to take into consideration. But that is the end of the comparison. I hope this video has helped you if you're trying to purchase a retail pair, because This is a great shoe. In my opinion, it's one of the best collabs they've ever done. Really do like the colors, really do like the quality. Everything about this shoe is good. And I think they'll go up in price pretty soon because people are going to realize how nice a shoe this is. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow, helps me do more videos just like this. And thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.